Picture this. A team just finished a redesign in record time. 6 weeks instead of 4 months. They are proud and they should be. But here's what they didn't know. The assembly line was still programmed for the old design. The supplier had qualified the old spec. He had written inspection criteria for a part that no longer existed. A brilliant design stuck at a wall of red lights. I have seen this happen again and again. Not because people aren't talented, not because they aren't working hard, and not because they are not technically sound, but because we have gotten faster at creation without getting faster at everything else. And now, with AI accelerating creation even more, this problem is about to explode. Here's what nobody's talking about. AI is making us faster at some of the wrong things. Think about it. AI can generate a CAD model, write code in minutes, produce a prototype design even before lunch. The act of making something new has never been this fast. But here's a question that should keep every leader awake at night. If AI makes design 10x faster, why aren't we shipping 10x faster, or why our execution speed is not 10x faster? Because creation isn't the bottleneck. It never was. Or at least not the primary. The bottleneck is human interface. It's meeting to align engineering, manufacturing, and all the functions. It's the 3 weeks waiting for supplier qualification. It's 50 people across 12 different time zones interpreting the same spec 12 different ways. AI gave us a Porsche, but we are still driving through the city of endless red lights. And those red lights, they are multiplying because now we have more Porsches than ever. For years, I thought the solution to slow execution was obvious. Push harder, more project timelines, more dashboard, more escalation, more micromanagement, more status meetings. I was clearly wrong. That's what I learned from watching projects not do successful, not from the bad ideas, but from slow execution. Speed isn't a motivation problem. It's a friction problem. Think about a highway. What determines how fast traffic moves? Not engines in the car, the intersection, the merges, the bottlenecks. In complex organization and complex product development, those intersections are what I call interfaces. Every point where work passes from one person to another, one team to another, one system to another. Two people working together, one interface. 50 people globally, interface exponentially increases, hundreds of interfaces. Each one a chance of waiting, misinterpretation, rework, late surprises. And here's the cruel truth. In tightly coupled systems, problems cascade. One delayed decision becomes a delayed design, becomes a missed prototype window, becomes a validation scramble, and eventually become a compromised launch. The red lines aren't just slowing you down. So what do the fastest teams do differently? I'm an engineer and technical program manager based in Silicon Valley. I live in the space where ideas either become real or die quietly. I have worked across automotive tech and various hardware industries. I have seen teams that move like water through rock and teams that drown in their own complexity. The difference isn't talent, it's not resources, and it's not even technology up to a certain degree. The difference is they treat execution like a system to be designed, not a heroic effect to be willed. Let me tell you what that looks like. The fastest team that I have worked with do three things very differently. First, they make decisions fast and final. Every week, a decision forum, clear owners, clear deadline. If engineering team and manufacturing or supply chain disagrees on a spec, they have a very limited time to resolve it, ideally 48 hours, just for an example, and or it escalates. No circle back. The delayed decision isn't neutral. It's a delayed design, a missed window, a cascade waiting to happen. Second, they pull feedback forward. Instead of waiting for the final prototype to test assumption, they run small, fast experiments that reveal problems in weeks, not months. Finding out you are wrong with simulation just cost you days. Finding out in quarters will cost you millions. Third, they make risk a living conversation, not a spreadsheet. Every 2 weeks, what's changed, what dependency is fragile, what assumptions are no longer valid, what risk are we minimizing because it's comfortable to like not comfortable to discuss. Projects don't fail because risks weren't identified. They fail because the risks weren't surfaced while they were still some options. That's not a methodology, and that's not even a framework. That's just engineering. Here's what I want you to take from this conversation today. We are entering an era where creation is free or nearly free. AI will generate your design, write your code, produce your prototype. But AI cannot integrate 50 different humans across 12 different time zones. It cannot make the decisions your leadership team is making. It cannot surface the risk no one wants to name. That's a new competitive advantage. Not having the best ideas, but having the best systems for turning ideas into reality. I call it agility at speed. Not agile with a capital A, not stand-ups and sprints and sticky notes. Real agility, the ability to move from idea to market faster than the world changes around you. A few years ago, the question was, can we build it? Today, the question is, can we execute fast enough that it will be still relevant when translated to market? The team that masters this will define the next decade. The teams that don't will build the products for markets that are no longer valid. So here's my request. Think of one project at work right now that's moving slower than it should. You probably thought of it at a moment. Now ask yourself, what are the red lights? Which decisions has been pending for too long? Which assumptions hasn't been tested? Which risk is everyone pretending that doesn't exist? You don't need a transformation, and you also don't need a new methodology. You need to pull one thread, clarify one decision, just one feedback loop forward, surface one truth that has been hiding in plain sight. Do that, and you start to clear the road, because in the AI era, the winners won't just have the best ideas, they'll have the best execution system. Agility at speed, turning ideas into reality while everyone else is still discussing about them. That's the execution advantage. That's a competitive advantage, regardless of the industry. Thank you.